Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series presented by the Education Committee for the Southern California section of PGA. The Catalyst webinar series is a bi-weekly educational platform for creating success and change in your club and career. We are very excited and proud to welcome Mr. Randy Chang as our presenter this morning. Many of you know Randy. Randy, many accolades in his repertoire. He is the 2010 SCPGA Section Teacher of the Year. In addition to that, the 2015 recipient of the Youth Development Award. Randy has 6 golf schools across Southern California, and he's also currently serving as a Director at Large on the SCPGA board as well. Good morning, Randy. Welcome to the Catalyst webinar series.
Good morning, John. Thank you, and good morning, everybody out there. Thank you for waking up this early to listen to me. Hopefully, I'll be able to impart some things you folks can take with you back to your facilities and your academies that will help you basically, grow your business. So, this morning we're going to talk about again the business of teaching and coaching. Again, as John said, I have multiple golf schools here and around Southern California, one still also in Hawaii where I got started. I want to get started with saying, like I said, I am part of the teaching committee, chairman actually, as well as the apprentice committee chairman, of which I just picked that up as well this year. This whole kind of program as far as teaching and the business of teaching came about with this Kickstart program that we started for our apprentices the last couple of years. So I want to try to help kickstart a lot of our young apprentices in some of the successes that I've had over the years, building golf schools, trying to grow my business, and then the biggest thing is also retaining. For just a quick little background about where I'm at in my career, my partner relationship that I have with my golf club partner, Honma, did this cool little lifestyle piece on me this past year. So I'd like to try to share that with you to give you a little background of my philosophies and what I do on a daily basis.
I wake up in the morning, I get a cup of coffee, I go look out in the surf to see how the waves are. If they're good, I'm going to go jump in there, get a few waves in. Even if not, just to get some exercise. Why a lot of surfers like golfing is because you can't force Mother Nature. You have to kind of go along with the wave that is given to you. Golfing is very much the same way. You can't force yourself around a golf course. You have to, get what the golf course gives to you and try to do the best that you can. My teaching philosophy is simply SURF. It's an acronym for simplicity, understanding, retention, and most importantly, fun. I think we have gotten extremely mechanical and technical, which is good for us to understand, and it helps us with our teaching. But as far as relating that to our students, we need to keep it simple. We need to surf. Golf is more failure than it is success, and how you deal with these failures and bounce back, I think, is the most important part of life and things that I like to teach other people. What teaching does is just a satisfaction, that you can help somebody improve their game. I think any teacher or coach has that sense of gratification of why we do it. After you can see that person and their face light up when they hit that ball further than they ever did, or that clean hit, that sound, that speaks volumes. My favorite aspect of the game is relationships. I think that's probably the most important thing about this game and what I've learned over the years is the relationships that I've been able to form personally and professionally. Golf is definitely like life. You can learn everything from integrity, discipline, perseverance, and the passion itself of just wanting to do something that you love. The real reason why I like playing these golf clubs is, again, it's about the relationship and the people behind the clubs, either being made by the craftsmen or the people who sell them. I'm really on board with the people that back the brand. I've always heard the saying, it's not personal, it's business. But I really disagree with that. I think business, it has to be personal. And I think Honma and the craftsmen take it personal. That's why it's so good. They take what they do personal. And with that, I do the same thing with my teaching. I actually get very personal with my students because I care about them learning the game. And I believe Honma does the same.
So one of the things, one of the benefits of coming on this Catalyst this morning is that everybody will be invited to one of my famous Chang barbecues at my house. So remember that and look out for the invitation. Anyways, we at our schools, we kind of live around this learning how to surf, which stands for simplicity. We've added safety to that. Understanding, you understand, retention, and probably, again, most importantly, fun. So that's kind of our mantra at our academies. So getting into the business aspect of it, you know, why people don't play golf. Usually this is kind of more, I do this in an interactive, get the answers, but right now the top three are usually too expensive, takes too much time, and too hard to learn. And as a PGA organization, we're working on all of these so we can get more people to play the game. Thanks to our third party tee time organizations, I mean companies, they're making it not as expensive to play the game. Thanks to eBay and Amazon, it's even equipment is getting not that expensive to do. Takes too much time. We have always had the problem with that and pace of play. These are things that we addressed at our schools and especially with our juniors as far as teaching them how to play faster, number one. Number two is just not being able to have enough time to play 18 holes. So in a lot of the facilities that I've seen with the nine hole rates, and now even what we've done at our facility, as I'll allude to later, we have 5 or 6 hole little tournaments with our women's league that we're just going to get started. Too hard to learn. That's where we come in. That's where we try to make it so that it's really not that hard to learn how to hit a golf ball. And that comes into some of the methodology and theories that I want us as a PGA organization, especially teachers, to all come on board with, as far as our vocabulary, as far as how we communicate to our students. For instance, that if anyone in this group feels like this game, you have to have good hand-eye coordination to play the game at a recreational level. I usually get pretty much most of the people raising up their hands. And one thing that we have all seen, that this is really not about hand-eye coordination. I wish I could demonstrate that to you. Why, you know, an Annika Sorenstam, a Dustin Johnson, a Inby Parker is not looking at a golf ball at impact. So, you know, the ball is not moving. Blind people can play this game. And on another day, when I could demonstrate, I hope we can get everybody on board with that. We're getting to the simplicity, structure, and safety, what we'll talk about, and kind of what we call our wow factor, to get people more involved with taking more group and series rather than just the individual lessons. So we're going to start with, we'll talk about relationships with our facilities. And this is probably the most important part as far as the business, on how I am able to be in 6 different facilities around Southern California, and why they invite me and want me to be there. First thing is, the facility is the #1 priority. A lot of times, since I've been in the business, the first half of my business as a director of golf, general manager, part of this this catalyst is it's not only for teachers that are out there, but also for the facility managers, for the owners that actually manage your instructors, your teachers, or have an academy, to try to get the maximum out of your teaching programs. And I don't see enough of that happening. As well as the teachers, coaches that work at your facilities. Everything is kind of about us. How does the facility help us to try to build our business? And it's got to be the other way around. It's all about how can you help the facility. The management and staff become all of your bosses. The relationships that I've seen over the years with teachers and the managers and pro shop people have always been strained at times. So that's something very important for us at our academies, that the outside services, everyone out there are your bosses, and we have to do everything in our powers to make it easier on their duties rather than the opposite. So that's extremely important. Part of the relationship with your facilities, again, how can you benefit your facilities? And there's all types of ways. It comes to range sales, club sales, membership programs, food and beverage opportunities, tournaments. In my case, in one of my facilities, they like the PR exposure. I've been in quite a few magazines, TV, radio. They take that as, for them, a measurable things. Insurance liability communication, that kind of gets into what I talk in our Kickstart program, and we won't get into that today. So just kind of for the facility owners, managers, when you folks have independent contractors that are at your facility, there's been kind of the normal rent or lease that you charge them a month, or you may charge them a percentage of their income, what they make at the golf course. Today, it's a lot different. At the 6 places that I have, each facility, there are different situations where both for the facility and the teacher, it benefits both. Normally the average, this was a few years ago, as far as compensation programs, the teachers were averaging around $50,000 a year, with paying an average course fees of 20%. So, which would be you're paying your facility $10,000 a year. Some of the normal things that I've seen as far as paying rent from anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month, again, which is a $24,000 a year that means to the facility. We don't do this at any of our golf courses that I'm at. As an example here, as far as a couple of courses that I'm at, and where I don't pay rent, but measuring your worth to your facilities is extremely important. Again, I bring in a charity event every year that they wouldn't have had. Also a corporate event at this one course. We sell driving range cards that are specifically sold by all of my coaches, as well as myself. Each student, when we sell the packages, these range cards are part of the package. So these are measurable things. Golf club sales. We have junior rounds that are tracked by the golf course because of the programs that we're in. So these are some of the things that we do at one golf course, which is very measurable as far as what the golf course has made for one of our smaller facilities. Instead of paying and then making the $10,000 a year on us, we are responsible for about $43,000. One of our bigger facilities, I can say at Journey at Pachanga, they really like having their brand, their logo out there in all the magazine articles that I write. Being on the Golf Channel has a big value to them. So instead of, again, the $24,000 that I might be paying for lease, we are responsible and measured to bring in over $140,000, and this is a couple of years ago. That has probably gone up about 10% as well. So these are certain examples of where that extra money goes back into the academy, or to your coaches, to myself, and just by organizing some of these events, which are measurable. And so it's something that the facility manager should look at, rather than just taking the 20-25% or the $500 or $600 a month, to look into these ways to, for that incremental income. Marketing and branding that we do, my main thing and my advice to everyone out there that is on the teaching side of it, or just getting started, is find a niche. Find a niche to where you're most passionate about. For us, it's been juniors, and we have an example here on the screen where when you first get started, there's not a whole lot of marketing dollars that you budget for. And thanks to social media and thanks to other things that I've done in the past, I've been able to do some marketing that didn't cost us anything, which has turned into some pretty big programs at, again, one of my facilities here. There's some list of ways, again, that you can do to market yourself and to brand what you do at your academies and facilities. An example here, we have a surf and turf summer camp. All the camps here in San Clemente at Talega, all the surf camps are always filled up every year by this time. And so you're competing against all these other camps that they have in the summer. Well, I teamed up with one of the surf camps out here in San Clemente, who the proprietor is a very avid golfer and was totally into creating a surf and turf camp where they would go surf in the morning for half the day and then get bused to our golf course, have some lunch, and golf in the afternoon, or learn how to golf. It's a 1-week camp, and we started this about 8 years ago, and today it's almost internationally known, where we get people from all over the world coming to these camps, and just all happen to do it's kind of co-op or cross-marketing with this already successful surf camp. So these are examples that in your area, see whatever is being successful, whether it's Little League, whether it's lacrosse or anything soccer. There's always going to be a coach or that loves to golf. So example here with Kelly Slater, who's here in Talega. Quick little story is this one kid came to our surf and turf camp. All the surfers were teasing him about, well, why don't you just surf all day long? Kelly Slater happened to be at the golf course at the time, who was a friend of ours, and he was able to take a picture with this young, surf and turf camper. And when he showed this to all his kids back at the camp, all of a sudden he was the most popular kid. So there's a lot of fun stuff you folks can do. PGA Junior League, and which I'm going to get into quickly next, and then the TGA Golf and Schools with Anthony Leone are other very simple ways that you folks can they can help you build your programs at your facilities. Our niche has been our little Tiny T's golf program, 3 to 6 years of age. We have done this for about 10 years now and have these programs at different facilities. And this has been one of the more successful facilities that I've been able to do all these years. It has definitely helped put my kids through college. It's a niche that not a whole lot of people know how to deal with, but it brings to the facility a whole entourage of new people, from grandmas, aunts, and uncles, because they want to see what their little Johnny can do at 3 to 4, 6 years of age. And from there, we've been able to, again, turn that into extra incremental measurable income in the food and beverage, driving range, and also in memberships, as I'll show you as we go on. PGA Junior League. I wish I could see who could raise their hands at their facilities who is being involved with this, because this one program in itself has pretty much changed and enhanced all of my programs at all of my facilities. So anybody that is not involved with this needs to look into it, and here are the reasons why. When I first came on board with the Junior League about 3 years ago, I just thought it was another, a feel-good way to kind of help grow the game. But it has come out to be a year-round program that everyone from a facility owner, manager, needs to look into as far as incremental income. And even if you're in a private country club, I have seen situations already that memberships have been bought because of this league. It's happened at my places as well. The basic financial league impact. Golf courses feel like, oh, I got to give my golf course away, and that's not true. The teachers or the coaches that get involved with this feel like, oh, I got to give my time, and everything is far away from that. For those of you that have been doing this, you folks will probably understand. Folks that haven't, folks really need to look into this. For instance, real quickly, as far as the junior league is concerned, you get about anywhere from 6 to 10 matches that you can do in each of your areas, 4 home, 4 away. So it's 8 matches, 4 at your own golf course. We add in 8 practice sessions. The participation fees that we charge for this program is $300, actually $375. $75 goes to the registration, the uniforms, and so on. From there, you will see some of the quick little financial summary to this, where expenses at the golf course, we are probably one of the more expensive ones here at Talega. I personally, at our golf schools, we have 4 teams, actually 5 now, with a 16 and under group that we just got started. So with those, it would charge my golf course charges me $20 a junior to play at our golf course. So we usually take care of the fees for the visiting team, and when you go to the other courses, they usually take care of the fee. So basically it comes out to these expenses. We added another $120 for driving range fees for practices, and I pay my coaches. They make an average of about $50 an hour, 24 hours that they put into this. Comes out as you'll see. So my total expenses come out to about 26. So there's academy income, which is me, that comes out with an extra $1,000 after paying coaches, after paying golf courses. We use up at the golf course that $1,280 is just the green fees. We also charge $20 a cart for the parents to come out and watch, and as well as food and beverage. That's usually the case. So they at the golf course probably makes through these matches a couple $1,000, and we play in a time frame 2 hours before sunset, where the golf courses don't do that much revenue during that period of time. So this is income that comes in that they normally would not be making. So the golf courses love it. The other thing that has come about to this is that this is normally during the summertime. We have now extended this program year round. As soon as the actual summer PGA League is done, we have a fall league that goes from August through September. We have a winter league now. We just started this last year because the kids just keep on wanting to continue to play, and the parents love it. The cost of the $300 or $375, which is on the high side, but in Orange County, that is nothing. I just put my kids through football, and that goes $500 or $600 for the season of 2 or 3 months. So it is actually cheaper doing this junior league than it is going to play club soccer. So the parents love it. And we go through it throughout the year. As soon as winter time came, the time changed. People thought we had to stop. What we found out is that during the winter time in football season, every golf course on a Sunday afternoon was pretty dead. So we started changing our matches to Sunday afternoons during the winter time, starting it at around 3 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. And again, the golf courses facilities welcomed us with open arms. So for the coaches, it keeps them also busy with some streaming of income that they normally wouldn't have over the winter time. We have also, we're going to start this year on the bottom as far as how it affected my academy and my income is we're starting a women's league coming this next month with the same model with our beginning ladies. The tough thing as far as retention goes. So the hard part is growing the game. Obviously, this grows the game. The biggest issue has always been retaining them to keep on playing. And the format, with the scramble format, the socializing aspect, the camaraderie, the team aspect has helped accelerate the learning process definitely twofold, where when it used to take me 6 months to take a junior from never picking a golf club up before to playing in our JDT tournaments for the Southern California Junior, now takes 3 months just going through this program. Now that we have a lot of kids wanting to play the game or wanting to get on our team, they have to go through our program to be able to do so. So they have to go through our level 1, at least our level 1, to be able to get a chance to try out for our junior league team. So it's been about a 10% increase in our junior program participation. Our women's league as well, we started a beginning women's clinics, and then getting them onto the golf course has always been an issue. So we're doing a 6-hole, again, 2 hours after twilight, the late twilight. People go out. They get in about a 6-hole, little league format with a scramble format. So it's a very fun deal where they're also can't wait to get inside to go to our happy hour to have their glasses of wine. So it becomes a very viable model that all started from this junior league format. Also at Journey Pachanga, we just, again, going to be starting this next couple of weeks a tribal league through the different tribal casinos that have golf courses out there. We're doing an 18-hole kind of junior league format, scramble format, to take some of these our senior tribal participants that are just getting to play the game without the fear of that they're just getting started. The format just helps them learn and accelerate, getting them from the driving range to the golf course in a very short period of time. So from a instructor academy standpoint, this is something that we just kind of fell into. So again, everyone needs to look into getting a junior league at their facility. As far as methodology goes, as far as what we teach, this is kind of where our teaching has evolved to. You're supposed to listen to this if you've not seen this before.
I've been asked many times, JC, what are your swing thoughts as you're swinging? What are the secrets? What are the secrets of golf that pros know? Well, I heard this one time, and I remembered it. It's really, if you write this down, it really helped. What I try to do, I try to flat load my feet so I can snap load my power package. That way I can amplify both lag and drag pressure through impact fix. As long as my number 2 power accumulator doesn't break down, I can reach maximum centrifugal force with minimum pivotal resistance. You see, the pivot is the utilization of multiple centers to produce a circular motion for generating centrifugal force on an adjusted plane, plus maintenance balance necessary to build a 2-line delivery path. See, golf is geometrically oriented linear force. It involves a physical muscular thrust and a geometry of the circle. You can divide the golf swing into 24 basic components, each having between 12 and 15 variations. Now, when you think of all this and you get it all set, hopefully you'll hit shots like this.
That's kind of where our teaching has gone to. I've been pretty privy to be able to study amongst all the top instructors in the world, in their seminars and in their readings. And everything has pretty much come down to this at our academies.
L. Go ahead, take it back to your L. Backwards out. Tippy toe. 1, 2, 3. Smile at the camera. Smile. Is that fun? You want to do it again? Okay.
So that's it. It's Y, L to L, tippy toe finish. Hold your finish for 3 seconds. So this is, again, how we go ahead and how our business increased from our junior Tiny Tees program. This is a girl that just started. This is her first day. I think she's about 6 years old. What I want you to see on this slide right here is the girl, her sister behind her. She didn't want to do it. The dad is right behind her. They're hitting balls while she was in her group lesson. I just want you to watch her swing.
She's 5 years old. So tell us what you're going to be doing here.
So do you see that swing in the back? So from there, after her sister was doing this, and then she started to hit the ball in a very short period of time. This was her first lesson. They've never played golf before, so they wanted to try it out. So what they did was I invited her over to try to do the same, and this is what she ended up doing. Sorry.
All right, Alan, just tell me what you're doing.
So this was just probably about 5 minutes of giving her a taste of it. So the wow factor that we talked about, how we get from the one little girl who signed up for the Tiny Tees program, we got sister, who I think who was like 10 or 11. We utilize our V1 programs, our technology, and to just kind of create this wow factor. When I showed her swing compared to a Michelle Wee swing, which looked very similar and close, that was a big wow to her and a big wow to Dad, who was behind. So after this this little session here, the big sister ended up joining our junior program as well, and then we got Dad after to join to take some individual lessons. So that's how it works out as far as growing our academy and growing our game, utilizing technology and our models there. The last portion is safety, and I'm not talking about just safety, making sure the kids don't hit each other over the head with golf clubs, but how we've allowed the juniors to swing over the years. People recognize there's Natalie Goldis, Paula Kramer, who played as juniors, and as we all know, including Tiger Woods, what this has done because we've allowed the kids to swing this way, which is mainly the whole keep the head down. So that's another thing I want to get everyone that's listening here today on board, is trying to take out that term, keep the head down, in our teaching vocabulary. And if there's anybody that does disagree with this, then please let's have a talk. We have seen this over the years, and now we have enough information to see that this is not good. An example here again, this girl was playing in the junior world. She was from Panama, came up to visit because she wasn't hitting the ball very well while she was here in San Diego. As I showed the parents, and she was right in the middle of after playing around, which maybe wasn't good, but I think we all have a responsibility, since I teach specialized 3 to 6 years of age, that we can't have them looking like this and swinging a golf club, even though they have been successful, even though they hit the ball far. We know that it's not good for the back. So we need to all get on board with this. I needed to show the parents that even though she's hitting the ball good, this is not going to be good for her. We know now that after a few years, and we actually have information from our chiropractors and our physical therapists and doctors, that in a few years, they're putting that stress on their spine and their backs. So in a few minutes, she looks like what you see here. And I think even though it's going to mess her up, it's got to happen where we have a responsibility to let them know that this is not good for their bodies. So safety is a big, big issue with us at our academies. I had a Chinese group of juniors that came and stayed for a month. You see the same thing over and over again, where that type of motion, these are very good accomplished juniors, so they came from China. And I still felt I needed to let them at least know that they have a choice, either change now or change later. It's not a matter of whether they're gonna hurt their backs. It's just a matter of when. And again, we just see this over and over again. So this is something that I like to preach in our in all of my seminars. Is like we just have to make sure that we protect the bodies of our juniors. So again, here's another simple wow factor. This girl, again, from this Chinese junior group on the left. We worked just real simply for a day with our LDL, and then showing what some of today's models that I like is Zaria. That's obviously is a great model in swing, and when they can see that, said, all right, we're willing to make that change. So, at times I've been a summary. Learn to surf. I mean, try to keep it simple, understandable. Sure that we find ways for them to retain and keep them here. And again, most importantly, fun. develop a solid teaching and facility relationship. The facility always comes first. So if you keep that in mind as an instructor, as a teacher, as a coach, as a academy, you won't go wrong if you keep the facility first before you. Find a niche. Find a niche. We got to get specialized in what we do in our teaching. Look into the PGA Junior League if you have not already, or if you already have, are doing it. Make sure it can be a great incremental income for facility and teachers themselves. And most importantly, when we're doing our teaching, let's keep the safe part of it in mind. Let's keep your head down out of our vocabulary as a PGA organization. And I think most of our students and new students will thank you for it. If there are any questions, I think we can open up to a few questions. If not, I want to thank you folks for your time. And I know we probably have to go out and start doing all these things right now, running your facilities or go teach. So thank you very much. I'll let you know when the barbecue is going to be.
Thank you very much, Randy. There are a few questions that have come in. Can you explain a little bit on how obviously you have a background in surfing, and that definitely played a factor in you developing that acronym. Can you talk a little bit more in depth about how you arrived at those 4 fundamentals?
As far as acronym for surf?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, again, as you saw, with our teaching, it's become very highly technical and mechanical. And like I believe, I come from an actual engineering degree and background, so I really enjoy it. But it's kind of, there are a few of my students, a very handful of them, that really enjoy that type of information that just helps confirm the things that we talk about. But we have to simplify things, and you can see the type of results as far as simplifying our teaching, the motion in general. And again, it just, understanding, they have to be able to understand it. Retaining it has always been the issue, so find the ways to retain it. And I think if it's not fun, then why are we doing it?
And you talked a little bit about the success of the PGA Junior League at a number of your facilities. Can you talk a little bit about how you helped to make the Junior League successful at those facilities?
It just all came about by accident. Nikki Gatch said, "Hey, you got to try to do this," and I've always gotten involved with all the PGA initiatives, from Get Golf Ready, I believe, all those things. And this is one of the programs that I saw that, because of the format and the team aspect, it just accelerated the learning process. So that was one of the things. And then after the families started to love it, they were paying whatever to keep this thing going. So then from the facility standpoint, during those couple of hours during the day before sunset, you got those late twilighters that would come, which were really what was never a great customer to have, because they're the ones that were, got the beer in their bag and tried to play 18 holes in 2 hours, skipping, trying to pass everybody, jumping curves. So this group of people, of families that come on out, has taken over, that customer, and has been way more lucrative because they buy stuff at the snack bar, and so on. So that's where it helped the facility. When we saw that, they were welcoming us, and now that I have a year-round program, it was just a no-brainer after that. So it's just a great program to enhance your already junior programs, as well as help your facilities make an extra $10,000 to $15,000 a year, which they probably wouldn't have.
And can you give us a couple of pieces of advice on avoiding the head down misnomer? We talked a little bit about that during the presentation. Obviously, there's such a stigma with non-professional instruction out there in terms of getting away from that misnomer.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the hand-eye coordination that I alluded to earlier. Everyone says, keep your eye on the ball, keep your head down. And why do you have to keep your eye on the ball? Well, we've already seen in the past, from back in the days of the Annika Sorenstans and the David Duvals, where we never talked about that because they weren't looking at the ball at impact, and we can't see it anyway. The ball doesn't move. It's not baseball. It's not tennis. It's not hockey where the object is moving, where you absolutely need hand-eye coordination to play those sports. As long as you can see, you saw the little 3-year-old there that has enough coordination to, they know their alphabets, so they can they relate to that. For me, it was always when I saw dad or grandpa out there holding their kids, head with their hand and told them to swing. I've always said that as long as we have that term, keep your head down, I will be in business for the rest of my life. It's job security. But now it's like I almost have to go up to them and say, there's a better way to do this, and I'll show you. Look at I'll show you the video of what you're doing when you're putting your hand on their head, so that they keep their head down and they don't take their eyes off the golf ball. Now I find myself actually going up to them and just educating them a little bit about it and giving them a quick little demonstration where I don't even look at the ball and make golf swing, close my eyes. It's not about hand-eye coordination. So I think that's where it comes about.
Okay, I think that concludes the questions from the attendees. Randy, I want to thank you for your time today. It's wonderful to get success stories on here. When you watch that video at the beginning of the presentation, and it's clear that your business model and your approach, philosophy, and attitude about what you do has played a tremendous role in your success, and I certainly believe that, and I thank you for your time today in putting together this presentation. I want to thank also everybody for attending the Catalyst webinar series today. As usual, we will be sending out the YouTube recording of Randy's presentation along with the 10-question quiz. Please take the 10-question quiz and return it to Sharon Kerfman, skerfman@pgahq.com. A score of 70% or higher on the quiz will earn 1 MSR credit for attending today's Catalyst. Also want to remind everybody that on May 17th, we'll have our next installment of the Catalyst webinar series with John McNair, former president of the Southern California PGA and CEO of JC Resorts, presenting on the Catalyst on May 17th. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day and enjoy.
Thanks, John.